Welcome to Divine Cuppa number 19, episode 19. I'm Deniz Mustard, and I'm an emotional fitness coach helping women come from their emotional pain into their power. I'm currently in Croatia on a castle. and today we are going to be talking about silent voices. Before we do that, I'm going to hand you over to Vanessa for her wee introduction.
Hi, greetings. Gosh, your
Vanessa.
Background looks amazing. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Suzie? Yes,
I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay, so Denise's background looks absolutely amazing, and Croatia is somewhere that Mark and I want to visit. So you'll have to give us a little bit of a rundown on what you like about that country. So yes, my name's Vanessa. I'm a lifestyle coach for moms, and I'm supporting women to help you to help yourself. And in doing so, you will feel more confident and ready to take action. All right, so that's me.
Suzie?
Hi everybody. Yes, it looks lovely, doesn't it, in your background? Morning to Sunday Vibes here. I'm Suzie, emotional wellbeing coach and author of You Are Enough.
So today we decided to talk about silent voices, and there's many levels in which we are finding that individuals, I mean, I could include myself, where it feels like your voice isn't heard when you are trying to communicate to those of a differing opinion, and we wanted to explore that in many different ways. So the first of which, where did you want to start again? You wanted to pull your cards. Sounds like...
Yeah, I've got the cards out, but I think the angels are happy to kind of see where we want to take the conversation. What maybe you want to tell us a little bit more about the case studies, because this section is really about when you're not vibrating on the same frequency of those around you. And I feel that there are many in this world who are going through that in different ways, because there's no right or wrong. We know that it's a soul choice, and we know that it's our individual journey. So maybe just share some case studies with us first, Deniz, and I'll bring the angels in.
Yeah, so I mean, what I've experienced recently is when you speak to people, I mean, you can feel their vibrations. It's if you don't think that like they do, it is one of fear. It's like what you're thinking is dangerous, and you can really feel the fear and the panic and the clinging on to what they have. And I've been calling this throughout the whole last year as the middle class pandemic, because ultimately it is the middle class that are afraid to lose what they have, and are perpetuating the fear of even affecting their children, and they're just thinking of the worst. And then when you think of the worst in any sort of coaching sense, it is severe anxiety, right? And it stops you being present. And this is what I've found with individuals who are happy to go along with the global narrative. It is the constant perpetual fear that they're living in, and belief system that they will lose everything. I don't know what you've found, Suzie.
I find that we all know what it's like to have a silent voice. We all know what it's like not to be heard. And I believe the more work we do, we want to be heard. Yet there's so many people in that same boat, in the same frequency of, I'm not going to be heard anyway. They're not been heard for a long time, and so they remain silent, which is one of the worst things you can do, to remain silent. And it's, how do we as a collective get people to speak and be okay with it? I know there's a majority of people that don't want to hear now. They've bypassed that now. It's like yeah, let's just go to bed and wait till we wake up and everything's okay. But nothing's going to be okay until you raise, until you speak up, until you say something. But I do believe, again, I believe it's all to do with trauma, childhood trauma, anything that's coming up for people that believe that they weren't heard and they're never going to be heard. And so they're just going through this, what was it, Groundhog Day, day in, day out, day in, day out. You'll say something, you'll tweak it. And like we just said before the call, you get a thumbs up. Thumbs up isn't even a conversation, is it? Come on. I mean, I've stopped speaking to people that give a thumbs up. Give something back. Tell us the truth. Otherwise, what's the point of really expressing how we feel?
I love that, Suzie. Yeah, no, definitely. We are pushed. There isn't a point where just by just going with it and wanting to go back to normal, that's not going to happen. Action has to be taken on everyone on an individual level. So lots of fears have to be lived, let go of, shifted, frequencies raised in order to actually be able to step into this new way, a braver, more courageous way of living. What do you think, Vanessa?
Sorry. Yeah, I definitely agree with everything that you both said there. And my main example is coming from my daughter, who many of you know, my daughter is a nurse. And even though she has organized herself, she will not be taking anything that she doesn't seem conducive for her body. And she's made arrangements for that not to happen. She is surrounded by other colleagues who are in a dilemma. So in the medical profession, as we know, in England, they are being told that if you're working in the medical profession, you need to be looking into something. We couldn't do that sign. This is what I've seen people do now. So they don't want to be taking any jabby stabby or getting juiced up, okay? But I believe that they are keeping their voices silent. You know, she's given me little examples, particularly of a young girl who has been told by a doctor that a doctor will not support a letter of exemption. And rather than leaving the doctor and finding another doctor, she's now made a decision. Oh, well, it means that I'm going to have to take something that at a soul level, I know that I don't want to, but I'm going to take it. So for me, I'm listening to what both of you are saying, but the examples are coming from my daughter. And I will say, I gave my daughter an angel reading last night for the first time in many years. And Archangel Michael came through twice. And, you know, Archangel Michael does symbolize that we are safe and for us to speak our truth. So, and to stand in our integrity as well. So I just wanted to bring that in because I thought it was very kind of important that even though she's got her solution, that maybe now she needs to almost helping the others in that environment who maybe don't feel like they've had a voice. So hopefully she felt empowered enough. She's quite a strong woman. Well, she is a strong woman anyway. But in this particular topic, hopefully she'll feel empowered enough to help those who maybe feel that they don't have a voice. Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, that's what I found actually. The one of my friends, she was going on holiday and she went to Portugal, and I was like, don't you need to be double jabbed for that? Knowing that she was like, oh, Deniz, you know, I'm thinking like you now, sort of thing. And I was like, oh, okay. And then when I asked that, and I was like, no, that can't be the case. You can't just done it. And she reading, you know, and I believe that the whole peer pressure and doing the right thing was what took her down. And I was like, and I feel like when that happens, I lose. This is what it feels like. Well, obviously the reality is not true, but when somebody who thought like that then crumbles, it feels like, wow, you don't care about my freedom. That's what it feels like. So I guess for those that maybe do feel vulnerable when others decide to have it. Like, you can accept their choice. I don't even feel bad that they've taken something now that potentially is harmful. I've accepted that, but it's like, now you're affecting my choices, my life, my freedom. That's what it feels like. I know that's not the reality, but then that's how they must feel when we don't do that either, right?
Okay, well, the angels are asking if they can be brought into the conversation now. So I've already done my shuffle, and with everybody's permission, I'm going to bring the archangels into the call and just asking them for a message that will be helpful in this particular situation for those who need to hear it. So okay, so this is really interesting. Oh, and look like I'm inspired by Amanda Ellis with her with her spray. So I went to the
I love using sprays like that.
Oh, I went to the crystal shop yesterday, and I've got Oreo, who's very good for what was the instruction here? Natural gifts of clairvoyance and clairescience and clairaudience, which I had the card yesterday about clairvoyance, sorry. But look who's popped up again. Archangel Raphael, breathe. I don't get this card when I'm on my own. I keep pulling this card for other people. So Archangel Raphael, if you've been following our series, then you'll know that Archangel Raphael has come on to the Divine Cuppa more than once now. And the message is, take several deep breaths, exhale slowly to awaken your energy and release old patterns. So I'm just wondering if this is about, it's the soul contract, it's the soul level, and anything that we're feeling, that fear about their choices, don't have that fear, because it's not going to work out like that. That's what I'm getting. Oh, we have Archangel Michael. Thank you for joining us. So Archangel Michael's come through saying, you are powerful, loving, and a creative child of God, and you are very loved. So I'll do the deeper meaning later. And we also have Archangel Sandaldolf, gifts from God. So we angels bring you gifts from your creator. Open your arms to receive. So I think there's a message here, because today's program, I feel, is like an extension of last week, where we were talking about communication. So now we're talking about those who have a voice, but for whatever reason, they are remaining silent. So we'll see what the angels want to say about this a little bit later on. Zenta's in the cupboard, so I'm going to have to deal with him. So carry on, please, sisters.
So when you were talking about Amanda Ellis, it triggered a thought. I watched a video that she mentioned the looking glass, and how there's a looking glass that the army have used that basically they can read the future, and it all comes to like a bottleneck, but in the end it always ends up with the same result. So no matter what they throw at us, they keep trying to change the timeline will not change. It's always going to be the same. So the mud does not stick.
It does not stick. And this is the thing, we've all, well, when I say we, and it's true, source energy has already won. That's part of my mantra that I put in my journaling practice, and I write it 3 times. I write, source energy has already won. I claim my victory now. And I repeat that 3 times. And it's about, the cards already said it. Archangel Michael's come through with that message. You are powerful. We need to remember who we are, and that we are extensions of source energy. So it doesn't matter what the timeline is out there. It's about what you're doing within your own divinity.
Yeah, and this is what I'm personally trying to prove with my travels. Like, people are seeing me. I've been traveling for 5, it'll be 6 weeks. Next week we're heading home on Friday, and we've been through 10 different countries. We've stayed in 4, and we've only been asked to a PCR test twice. Once on the exit into France, obviously, that I've talked about my struggle getting in, but again, if you stand in your power, you go through. they have no right to stop you transiting, and then entry into Turkey, and that's it. And you know, we've been through quite a few countries now, nobody's asked, and you just feel so free. And you know, in terms of mask wearing, I mean, barely anyone's wearing one round here. The only times I actually had to wear it was like in a supermarket in Turkey, because they literally chuck you out, and I got chucked out of the shop once. So I had to let go of the need to not wear one as well. So I was like, well, if I'm clinging on to that, then that's obviously an emotional thing as well. So yes, so most people are like, it's your choice. It's, you know, you choose how you want to live, and that's basically what I've been experiencing. And people get confused when they see what I'm doing, and hopefully it's making them stop and think about their own situation and the way that they're perceiving their world, right?
It's absolutely amazing, Deniz. And I'm assuming that you and Mark didn't actually have that intention. You know, you just wanted to have a holiday and go and visit your family. But the fact that you are, like you said, demonstrating that no one is taking these rights and these freedoms away from you, I think it's absolutely amazing. So fantastic. Well done.
No, we're doing it consciously, right? It got to a point where I was like, I'm not spending another summer in the UK. I've done Cornwall. I'm not like, I want to move on from that. And I'm not scared anymore. I guess before there was probably a bit of hesitancy because I didn't know what was going on. Now I do know what's going on. And I'm like, that's a different kind of fingers. That, you know, nobody is going to control what I'm doing, whether they call Turkey a red list country or not. Everyone's like, well, what about the quarantine? I'm like, what about it? Like, I'll get around it somehow. It's not a problem. And we have, you know, going to Croatia is getting around the problem. It's just more fun.
Wow, and it's supposed to be a beautiful place as well. So what fantastic. Okay.
It is so nice.
Without disrespecting Archangel Raphael, I feel, because I've said this message quite a few times on the call now, I am going to repeat it for those who are going to tune in and they may not have heard it. But for those who have, what I'm going to do is I want to move on to Archangel Michael first. And I just want to bring in this message, which was remember who you are, because I feel it's really, in a sense, poignant with what Deniz has just said about, you know, she's been to other parts of the UK, and she was determined with her family to make this summer a summer to remember. Okay, so remember who you are, Archangel Michael. Where's my okay, where have we gone? Okay, so you are a powerful, loving and creative child of God. So even Deniz just said, well, I knew that I could get around it. So be creative. That's fantastic. You are very loved. You are made in the image and likeness of your creator. So you embody aspects of all those qualities. Your inner divine light is pure and bright in truth, and no mistakes can undo God's handiwork of true perfection. Don't be afraid of your power, your magnificence, or your wisdom. When you succeed, you inspire others. When you change your life so that it's more aligned with your interests, you inspire others. Be powerful, be magnificent. This is who you are. So just checking in, does that resonate with you?
Oh God, I was getting emotional there. I was like, oh. That's one thing I've been mentioning today, like this week, is I mean, on the topic of like racism, there was this one video I watched where a guy in America stood up and he was just like, can we stop saying that you know, we're being oppressed, blah blah blah. I'm not oppressed. And he made this speech, and it was really profound because so many people believe how prevalent racism is, how prevalent sexism is, and it's like, hang on, we can't just blame others for what we're experiencing. We have to take responsibility. So you know, there's people I know that are like constantly experiencing obstacles with you know, having to test loads and isolate and quarantine and blah blah blah. And it's like, it's because you're giving all that energy to it. It's like, I'm not even giving an ounce of energy to it. I'm creating something else. And we are the master of our own like ship, destiny, create like, and I just really, that's what I'm focusing on. Not focusing on, oh, I might catch something and I might die and blah, blah, blah. I actually don't care. I'm happy to die. I'd rather live than sit being scared about dying. So yeah, that really resonated with me. What about you, Suzie?
I think I just want to go back to that card of breathe that keeps coming up, because I think on a collective we are being reminded to breathe, because people don't take it seriously. They never take breath work seriously, or just breathing. It happens unconsciously all the time. We're so lucky to have a heart that beats, and it's bringing you back to that awareness of who you are by breathing. And that's why I just wanted to mention that breathing, because it keeps coming up. So in a collective, we must talk about it, because people are forgetting the true essence of who they are and how important the breath is, how important it is. And it happens continuously without us having to say or do anything, you know?
Yeah,
So
but what I find that is that the people that, I feel like a lot of people believe in their soul being. And I feel like a lot of people believe in either a god or angels, but it's almost like they haven't integrated it into their life fully or at all, right? And they call themselves religious. I mean, the people that are the most scared that I know are the most religious, right? So, and they, you know, one of the things that it says in the Bible is to, you know, fear not, for I have your, whatever the, I don't know, but I'm not going to quote, but you know, it's to really have faith in God and not rely on your fear.
Yeah, I know what you're saying there, but it's the meaning people are giving into it. It's the meaning that they give. It's the concept and the ideas they have. That was a beautiful card that Vanessa just read out. But how many truly people believe that they are loved? How many people believe that? And that's the truth. Because why is it not happening? Why is it not catapulting? Because it's what people give the meaning, the idea of love to them is what. And that's why that's what I believe. You know, you get that ripple effect when you're speaking, when we're speaking, we get it, we understand it. But so many don't, because of their own ideas and their own concept of, yeah, well, you know, I want to believe it, but I don't love myself, or, you know, that they've lost that connection. They've lost that, they feel disconnected.
Yeah, 100%.
I agree with what you've both said there. Thank you, Suzie, for that reminder, and Deniz, what you said. So let's go back then. Very important. All right, does Michael want me to say something else? Just 1 minute. Okay, yeah, I just want to finish off with Michael, because Archangel Michael's name means he who is like God. So it's very poignant with what you've just both said. And he emanates the creator's honest qualities of love, power, strength, and unwavering faith. When you call upon Michael, your similar qualities are enhanced and magnified. So this is what Deniz has just expressed. Ask Michael to enter your dreams and clear away any fears that are blocking you from fully enjoying and living your spiritual gifts and qualities. Michael works especially well with us when we are sleeping, since that's when we're more open-minded and receptive. So going back to the topic where we started, with those who for some reason they're not on the same frequency, you have some people who believe that actually following this narrative that we've interpreted to be fear-based, they don't interpret it like that. Yeah, they're on that frequency of I'm absorbing the fear, I'm happy to go along with the fear. Okay, and we're like, well, no, just stand in your power, just do what you need to do, and nothing's going to happen to you. So I believe what Michael's saying on that card, which I've actually lost it now, where's it gone? On that reading, I believe he's saying that, you know, we've all got the qualities of love, power, and strength. Now, we don't want people to live in a fear-based world, and we know that on another timeline, which is being predicted, we're waiting for this to come into the reality, that things will be revealed, okay? Because things are being revealed, but you have to be, when I say frequency now, I mean, it depends where you're tuning in your radio dial. If you're still listening to mainstream media, you're not going to hear or see. If you're on a frequency where you're listening to what is described as alternative news, then there's more opportunity for you to see and hear. So I believe that for some of them, they just haven't had enough information. So that's why their voices are still silent, because they haven't had enough information for them to really make what we would describe as a decision that is helping them to stand in their power as a divine soul. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I don't feel like they even know how to do that, right? Want to go back. I think that things were okay then, but obviously it's not. So yeah, it's sad that there's very little expectation in self. That's the point, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
By
things
the
are
way, I
never
need to
going to
go.
go. You need to
Because
go.
Yeah, my battery's running out on my phone.
All right.
I will go anyway.
No problems, Deniz. Well, we're going to carry on because we've got some things that we wanted to share with the rest of the program. So thank you so much for joining us all the way from sunny Croatia, Deniz. You enjoy the rest of your day.
Guys, next week.
And see you soon. See you
Thanks.
soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, Suzie, it's just you and I. Wow, we've never actually had a divine couple with just two sisters on the call. And I can hear that. Is he okay? Yeah, I believe he's okay. So we'll carry on. So let's go back to that card that you said, you know, it is important for us to remember the breath work. Okay, so Archangel Raphael, and Raphael is a healer. And maybe it's about healing this situation, this world situation. Maybe, you know, I'm not interpreting his message on that higher level. Maybe his message isn't just about the individual. Sorry, I can hear Santa. I'm just going to check on him. Half a second, Suzie. You come back with the audience and just ad lib for us on the healing message for the world, and I'll be back. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Again, I still believe in the breathing. It's so important that we get in touch with ourselves. Breathing actually reminds you of being in the present moment, and I think that's why the message keeps coming up, because it's so easy for us to float from the past to the future, and we're being reminded that I am here now. And even if you use it as a mantra, I am here now, right down to your stomach, and then release, because it's just that, letting you know that you're in the here and now. And I think it's really important that we remember that, because it's so easy for us to keep floating from the past to the future.
Fantastic. Thank you, Suzie. I didn't actually hear it, but I know that you've said good things to the audience. So just to pull back what Archangel Raphael's message is, he's talking about often during times of stress, you may unconsciously hold your breath. Yet, as you know, breath is essential to oxygenating your mind, body, spirit, and very life. Write a note to yourself to breathe as a reminder of the importance of invigorating yourself with deep and steady breaths. Make trips to places where fresh air is plentiful. You will also notice an increase of air quality when you're near water, such as the beach or the lake. Even taking a shower or baths puts you in touch with the positive ions associated with water and air. Now, I've heard something very interesting on one of these chats that I listened to, where the man was saying that fundamentally, if you think about it, every single raindrop is unique. You're not going to have a raindrop that's the same, and they say the same, don't they, with what's it called now? You know, the ice, when you see a snowflake, that's it, a snowflake. Every single snowflake is unique. So think about water, how water comes in the 3 different forms. You've got the liquid form of water, you've got water when it goes to ice, and also you've got water when it goes to steam. Now, because our bodies are made up of at least 70% water, yeah, what this man was saying is that when you die, that yes, your physical form actually then is no longer here. But he's saying that the water element of who you are literally goes up into the atmosphere. And then, this is his theory, which I did resonate with, you become part of the rain that comes down, which is the uniqueness, which then got me thinking, because this week in our group, we've been talking about mindfulness. And I don't know if you noticed, Suzie, but I was drawn to share whale sounds in the group. Even when you came to visit me this week and I did an angel reading for you, I was playing the water rainfall sounds. So thinking about water has been very much on my mind this week. And even yesterday I was near a lake with my daughter. It's all coming back to me. So yeah, it's interesting that going back to where I left before I had to check on Zenta, I actually now receiving this card, it's more than 3 times on this show. I believe Archangel Raphael is talking about the healing of the world. And I just don't feel that I picked it up early enough, because it was like, oh, this is the card that's come through. But I believe it's about the healing of the world, and the fact that, you know, kind of connecting to what Archangel Michael said about us being powerful, that we've also got to remember that we are all connected, and ultimately maybe the ultimate connection. So we have this energy now, which is the energy field of our higher consciousness, and then we collectively are joined up with the super consciousness. But what about when our physical time ends, that we all come back together through the water, being part of the water particles? How amazing is that? How does it get any better than this? I just think that that's fantastic. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, it's amazing. It's like whatever you're drawn to, yeah, it makes so much sense. It may not make sense to the normal Joe Blog, but what is normal anyway? But that makes so much sense. I'm always saying we are 70% water, yet we focus so much on food. We focus on the wrong things. And water is so, you know, and I think we're forgetting the simplest elements of even saying thank you. You know, when you drink your water, thank you. You know, some people, you're forgetting just the simple things in life that bring you back to neutralize how you're thinking and feeling. Like breath, but breathing is so important, because in the now you can just say clear, you know, and you are clearing yourself out. It's the best detox you can have. You know, you don't need to go anywhere. We're so fortunate to have things around us that you don't actually have to do anything. You know, the birds singing on themselves is just amazing as well. Seeing that nature, seeing rain, seeing everything. But it's when you change that perception of it's all happening for me and it's all good for me, that we start paying attention to everything that is working in your favor. We've got so many people that don't believe like that, because they just think why. But everything is, if you think about it, it is working out for you.
Everything is always working out, definitely. Again, part of one of the things that I'll write down in my journal, everything is always working out for me. So this is fantastic. So remember, we were talking about silent voices. So now I want to bring in something we were very, very, very privileged to have an opportunity to connect with such a powerful woman. Like Archangel Michael's talking about power. We had power on that call on Sunday, Susie. We connected with Karen Brewer, who's based in New Zealand, who's done some fantastic work. She's done a lot of research. I don't really think that we'll bring in the research on this particular show. You never know. Karen might grace us with her energy and, you know, talk about her research herself on another show that we'll do in the future. But let's just talk about silence, because on Tuesday, the 31st of August, which is only now 2 days away, for us, obviously New Zealand, they're like ahead of us, so they're going to get there. They're going to get there sooner than we do to that date. So let's, you know, for me, this is about us as a collective sending out high vibrations and high frequency for their, how would you call it? She's not even calling it a protest. She's used a different word in her language. But for the ones who are just listening in, who are not quite sure what I mean, Karen Brewer has organized for men and women across New Zealand and Australia for them to make their way to their local council house or to their parliament or to their governor's houses, okay, and to stand there in silence from 9 o'clock on Tuesday, the 31st of August. So that's 2 days away. And they have a set of demands, which I'm not going to go into in this program because I don't want to misinterpret. But the point, what Karen's saying is, your power is within you. We don't need anyone to be doing big speeches or to be waving banners. You know, the other side know what our demands are because they've already expressed that, you know. But now, because last week we were talking about communication, so they've used other forms of communication to get that message over. Now they're using their divine power to actually make themselves known and to be seen. And it's going to be a silent voice, but it's going to be a powerful voice. Susie, what was your take on connecting with Karen and listening?
Oh, she's absolutely amazing. I know when sometimes you just hear something and you just think, I've got to follow up on that. And as soon as you mentioned her name, you mentioned the silent protest, and I thought, wow. But now I've had the opportunity of speaking with her, and what a great voice she does have, what a great advocate she has for I'm going to call it the Karen Brewer movement. You know, this movement is so powerful. I love the gutsy rawness of her truth, of how she knows. They know what she wants. They know what the community want, but they're gathering together in their hub, and they're going to go to these places. There's no need to repeat. They've already written down what they want. They want that information. They want it all done. That is powerful. That is, and to be silent. Oh, silence is amazing, because, you know, I don't know anybody, Vanessa, you know, in the line of work we do, we've all been there where we've had that wound of not being seen, heard, or supported. Wow, this is a movement to so many people can take something out of this. I mean, she had so many followers and then they stopped XXX, but she's still standing up. It's how great you are at rising at these pitfalls in life rather than keeping yourself down there. I'm in awe of the lady. I think she's absolutely fantastic. Her energy, the way she spoke, the way she is dealing with it all. And she's so right that what she's supporting, what she's doing. If you heard what she said and you thought it was right, you're just in the wrong place. But we all know it's wrong. We all know it's wrong. Just by that one sentence, that is powerful. That is truth. That is her standing up for what she believes in, and nothing is going to pull her down. And that silence, I can't wait to hear more about it.
Oh, Susie, you summarized that absolutely amazingly, because what I wanted to add is Karen also says no matter what. And she spoke about the moral compass. She didn't talk about that with ourselves on our call, but I heard a video where she speaks about the moral compass, which actually ties into where we started this conversation. For some people, they're just not in tune with their moral compass. They might not be in tune with their moral compass around the fear, the propaganda, the lies, the deceit, the horrendous things that we're hearing about that are happening with children, adults, animals. The list goes on. Where is your moral compass? Absolutely brilliant. So what I want to do now is we were going to talk about secret society, Susie, but I feel that I just want to pause on that. And I feel that that conversation is going to be more powerful when we've got the full collective of the Divine Cuppa here. So for those of you that are tuning in, keep coming back and listening to what we're saying, because maybe the next show will just be called Secret Societies, who knows? Because I feel like we're more powerful again when we're all together. So we'll pause that thought, Susie. Now, I do love this spray. So I am now going to draw from the message that Archangel Sandoff has given us, which is gifts from God. And, you know, I've got a feeling already that this will tie into the energy that we've already expressed, that we're going to be giving our support and energy to our Australian and New Zealand brothers and sisters for Tuesday. So let's see what this message is saying here. Oh, where's it gone? It's like I don't know my ABCs today. That's why I'm all tangled up. Okay, so we angels bring your gifts. We angels bring you gifts from your creator. Open your arms to receive. Heaven is expansive and ever increasing. One of the ways in which heaven expands is through giving and sending love continuously. We're always talking about that love vibration on this show. So, you know, this message is saying that this is the right thing. It's all about love. This love is sent your way in many forms, and your only task is to be willing to receive. That's interesting, because the first part of our conversation was about not being on the same frequency. And I think some of that mismatch is because the other one doesn't want to receive your loving vibration, your loving guidance, your loving, how would you say, warning. You know, myself and my daughter yesterday were talking about, for those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. That is a Bible saying. Now, for some reason, people are choosing not to see and hear certain things that are being said. Maybe it's they just don't want to receive this loving vibration. Right now, the answers to your prayers await your willing receptivity. Open your arms to these gifts. Your creator wills that you be happy, healthy, secure, and that all your needs will be provided. Release any fears of receiving to me. So that again is interesting. What is it that people are not wanting to receive? Because we know that the world as it was 2019, is this what? No, it's 2020 it started, wasn't it? Because Zenta wasn't yet one. So the world is never going to be the same again. Okay, now for those who are perpetuating the fear narrative, and as Deniz said, almost stopping themselves from living because they are struck down by fear, then actually, from what I can see and feel, that when you are standing in your power and you are open to receiving love and guidance, then nothing, you know, you become untouchable, you become invisible to any nonsense. I think I've said it on this program before. What do you think, Susie?
I think you have to remember that it's the human being, it's the experience of the human that I think triggers and stops a lot of people, because we're so trapped in that world of what's out there all the time. You know, you know, even when you're on your phones or whatever, messages forever distracting you. So we come back to that chaos and confusion where we all began this, where everybody's feeling out of control and not safe. But this is why we have to keep on sharing, letting you know that the only thing you can control is how you feel about things, and not to react and respond in that way, but to, you know, be mindful about things. That's what I believe. I believe that a lot of the world has gone into survival mode. You can see it, you can hear it. And it doesn't matter what you say, but it doesn't matter anyway, because you still, you know, I did about power the other day with a group of girls. And the thing is, people believe they've got this huge mission, this huge purpose. And you've got to stop doing that to yourselves, because you're stopping yourself from flowing in the now, right? Being in your power means, I don't agree with that, and I'm going to do something about it, and I'm going to do it now. You know, it means yes to this, no to that. It's not some big mountain that you've got to climb. And it's remembering to love yourself and not doubt yourself. Follow the love and not the doubt. But it's easy for me to say this when other people, I don't know what they're watching, I don't know what they're doing. So again, it's what they assume to be true through what they're living. And it's perceptions. You know, if you could just change that perception, even try it for just an hour to change that view. But as you know, we can't change or fix anybody. We're here to show the way, you know, and that's what we're doing. You've got to keep showing up. And, you know, we know at times we don't want to show up. It's not as if we're talking some other language. We don't want to show up. But luckily for us, there's 4 of us, one, and we'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do anything. You know, and that is it. That's the blind faith that we have, that blind belief that we have, that, you know what, if I'm not believing in myself, I know somebody who is. And that's what we've got to get back to, that courage, that being brave, you know.
Susie, I loved what you said about people feeling like it's a big, massive mission. And one thing that struck me, again, going back to Karen Brewer, no matter what, because Karen said that in her Telegram group, some voices were asking the question, who lives in this area, who lives in that area? But Karen said, you're missing the point. This is about what you have decided to do, not if you can get 100 people to join you. Do you believe in this enough? Do you believe in the need for change, the need for the old guard, as Layla so rightly put it, to stand down? Do you believe it this time enough for you to stand in your power, for you to show up, for you to take the action in the now, which will be Tuesday, the 31st of August? So I love that. The other thing that I wanted to bring in was about the fact that we have been in a world over the last, I don't know how many years, where, again, through the media, through the false icons, people have put other, and we're told this in the Bible, not to worship false idols. Yeah, they've put other people on a pedestal. So they don't know what those individuals have done to amass the fame and the fortune, to amass the influence that they have over your mind and over your, again, divinity and what you are wanting to achieve in your life. One thing that I know is there are a lot of good people in this world doing very, very good work. You have never heard of them. You've never heard of them. There are coaches and people that have expertise in certain areas that are literally changing lives, but you don't see them plastered all over the place. They're doing the good work because they know how to reach the people who need to hear that message. So it's almost having a silent voice, but in an effective way. But they don't feel that they need to be idolized to serve their purpose, to serve their life purpose. So I thought that that was interesting. All right, Susie. So
more
carry
proactive,
on.
aren't they?
More proactive. Okay, so I just wanted to end on with Archangel Sanderdorf is saying, one of Sanderdorf's principal roles is to deliver and answer our prayers. How many people are actually praying? You know, I'm doing my 40-day fasting and praying. Okay, so now the time is coming up to, well, it's gone past 12, so I can be breaking my fast after the call. But it's something that I've been doing as a morning fast. I take in some liquid, yeah, because I don't want to dehydrate myself, going back to the water, as Susie said, you know, or sometimes all we need is water. But fasting is one thing. The prayers, your prayers will be answered. Your prayers will be answered. Be open to receiving, but also be open to sharing and also expressing yourself. Be honest. Your prayers is a private thing. I mean, at the moment, I'm also praying for the wellness, the recovery of two individuals that I've heard about that are not very well. So you can pray for different things. You can pray for yourself, you can pray for others, but your prayers will be answered. You have to have that belief. We've used the word faith quite a few times in today's call. Okay, so all prayers are of equal importance to heaven, or in heaven rather, and there are plenty of angels to help everyone on earth. Call upon Sandaldolf when you need help in allowing yourself to receive. I think that's beautiful. Thank you, Archangel Sandaldolf. So what I want to do before we end today's conversation, I'm just going to share the screen, Susie. Please let me know if this has come through okay. Has that come through okay?
Yep.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, because we do need to remind our viewers about the next workshop that we are doing. It is called How to Represent Yourself. We've spoken about the self quite a lot today, I feel, Susie, actually, in one way or another. So
it's good to talk about it.
It's good to talk about it. And, you know, as we said on actually the call on the chat in the Telegram group on Friday, I made it quite clear to the women that came on the call that our Telegram group is not like the others where we're not flashing a whole heap of information at you. What we're doing is we're giving you a safe space for you to really tune in to yourself. That's why we're called Vibrate Higher, Vibrate Higher, Discovering You. Now, the next session is going to give you information where you can really start to explore your options in terms of coming out of the matrix. The matrix is collapsing. Yeah, it is literally collapsing around you. For many of you, you maybe just are not tuned in enough to see what is really happening behind the scenes, but things are happening and you need to be prepared. So have the right information. If you have information, as they say, knowledge is power. If you have the information, you will feel more confident and more powerful to take action. So don't miss out on this. Join us on Saturday, the 18th of September. We will be doing the live stream from 11 o'clock until 1 p.m. We have two fantastic contributors. I'm actually going to be sending out invitations, Susie, to ask our contributors to join us on the Divine Cuppa leading up to the program, to the workshop, for the viewers to have that introduction with them. And they will tell you more about what they are going to cover in their workshop. But basically, you will explore your options for leaving the matrix and protecting your sovereignty. This is really important because you are a sovereign divine being. If you're not really clear about what we mean about that, then listen to workshop 1, which is on our YouTube page. We go into that in some depth there. And you can learn about different remedies, different solutions to raise your awareness and your confidence. And basically, you will gain clarity listening to case studies from what will be shared during the workshop, plus much, much more. All right, so that's that. Unfortunately, the actual subscription page isn't quite ready. So I'm just going to keep telling you that this workshop's coming up. It's really low cost entry for you to actually be part of the workshop, because we have it more as you become a private member into our group. So don't worry about cost. It's very, very affordable. I'm just showcasing the date so that you can put this date in your diary. And when the information page is ready, which hopefully will be this week, to be fair, I've been working on another information page. So it's taken my attention away, but I will get that one finished and it will be there on view for you to get that information. So I wanted to just share that. So Suzie, it's been an interesting program. We've started off with 3 of us and now it's just the 2 of us, which we've never actually had just 2 of us on the Divine Cuppa. But I wanted to actually say thank you for your contribution, as always, to this program. I feel like we've covered everything that we're going to share today. Yet again, we haven't done a fact or fear, but again, I feel that fact or fear works best when there's at least 3 or 4 of us on the call, so we'll leave that again today. But is there anything that you wanted to share just based on what we've spoken about today as final thoughts?
I just believe that whatever's coming up for people needs to just be seen and let it just be what it is without paying too much attention on it and putting the fear factor there, because that's what's stopping you from actually reaching your greatness and being who you are. We need to come back to basics, and that means even if you have to switch off the phone for a day, just do it and follow what is really going off with you, because that's all that matters. You know, how you're feeling, how you're thinking, you know, and question those thoughts that keep coming up and seem to be drilling at something, but there could be something behind that really needs to be explored.
Brilliant, thank you. And for myself, I just want to bring the conversation back where we started. You know, if you feel that your voice is being silent or silenced and you're not feeling comfortable with that, then hopefully, you know, today's show is helping you to remember that you are a very powerful divine soul and you have the ability to co-create change. You could be the spark that somebody's waiting to see. You know, you could be the inspiration that could really help to shift the narrative in maybe your place of work or in your home or just in another social group that you're part of. So like I said, if this is something where you're thinking, actually, something's been bothering me and I really do need to speak up, then remember Karen Brewer's words, which is about your moral compass, and just tune into your divinity and make that change. Thank you so much for listening to us. Don't forget to like our video if this has resonated with you in any way. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and also please help us to share the videos. You know, we really want our message to get out, and it would be really helpful if you could share this message with somebody that you know. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful day or evening, whatever time you're viewing this, and we will speak to you very soon. Take care. Bye.
Bye.